We're here at BundleBorn. Let's get into it.
Stay tuned for season 2.
I had a really good time I just called to say.
Final episode of Bun and C. We have finally made it, and we have the pleasure today of sitting down with Teree and Teri at BundleBorn Midwifery. Thank you guys for being here so much.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So excited.
Yes. So we're gonna chat today with them. Who is BundleBorn? Who are you guys? Kind of tell us a little bit about BundleBorn.
Yes, so I started BundleBorn 9 years ago, and I wanted to do it really on the foundation to serve a diverse array of people that matches our community. Where I used to work, it was primarily just upper middle class white folk, and so I wanted to really be able to spread midwifery to a lot of different kinds of families. So we have families that are polyamorous and then very strict Catholic, and like every kind of person that exists in our community, we serve them as patients here. So that was one of the foundations, and the other foundation was just based on autonomy, that you are the most important decision maker in your care. That our job is like the tour guide to show you, like, these are your options, these are recommendations. Now think about it, make a list of questions, come back, let us know what you finally decide. But that's really the foundation of what I wanted to do in my practice.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. I love it.
Yes. I'm going to be calling you guys whenever I'm pregnant, so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
When is that going to be? When is that going to be?
Yeah.
Hopefully, in like a few years.
Got it.
Yes. But I do have a question for you, Teree. What inspired you the most to become like a midwife?
So the thing that inspired me the most to become a midwife was actually working in the hospital.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I started off in the hospital when I was 14 years old as a junior volunteer, and I did that until I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And then when I turned 18, I worked from then until the time that I started my midwifery training. So one of the things that I recognized was the high disparity in birth outcomes among women of color specifically. And so it became my passion to like Teree, serve a very diverse community, and to form my practice around the idea that we are all worthy of midwifery care, regardless of our background.
Wow.
But specifically for women of color, they were at a very high disadvantage, and they were 4 times more likely to die.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
I
and
did not know
so
that.
Yeah.
I, kind of made it a passion project that if I can take this idea that making prenatal care equitably accessible to women of color and just make that my standard of care, period, then I was reaching far more people than not. So like Teree, I was serving very diverse communities: Christians, Catholics, atheists, polyamorous couples, lesbian couples, all of it.
Muslim moms.
Right? And if I, as a person who loved Jesus, is going to be the hands of Jesus, in a broken world, that means loving everybody. So.
I love that.
I
Oh my
do
gosh.
love that. Yeah.
That's why I chose you guys. Like, honestly, my first interview, I went back to my best friend and I was like, they're the best mixture of everything, and that's why I'm going with BundleBorn, because I fell in love with y'all, why y'all love why y'all do what you do, why you love what you do. I fell in love with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we're together, too.
Yeah.
Because we have the same passion and mission to take good care of people.
Yeah, that's wild, because it is such a thing that you do. Like, you get to put all your trust into God in that point, and like it's just a mental thing that you have to get aboard with, and then you can go along with it. So
I know.
Absolutely.
The whole time I kept saying, Jesus, help me, help me.
Yeah.
But
I always say catching babiys is like shaking hands with God over and over again, because us as practitioners, like, we get to be on the receiving end
I
of
love
like
that.
Yes.
miracles, so it's so great.
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing.
Well, I got more negative feedback than positive feedback when I told friends and family the route that I was going with my birth.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to set the record straight. What is the process and the certifications of becoming a midwife?
Yeah, there's a few different ways that someone can be a midwife. In the U.S. in general, there's 3 different types of midwifery certifications: certified nurse midwives, certified midwives, and licensed midwives or certified professional midwives. State by state, it can kind of vary which type can work in that state or not. So here in Texas, we have certified nurse midwives and licensed midwives. So for nurse midwives like myself, it means that we have an undergraduate degree in nursing first, and then we go to grad school for either a master's or a doctorate in nurse midwifery. So we're advanced practice registered nurses, kind of like nurse practitioners for women's health. So we take care of people from the onset of their period as a teen all the way through end of life. So we can give adolescent care, we do well woman care, all just routine annual exams, pap smears, all the way up through menopausal hormone treatments, like everything. And then for licensed midwives, it's a process of more based in the community and based on the traditions of midwifery since the beginning of time. They obviously still have to learn everything that we needed to learn in regards to the midwifery itself. And then they take a national certification exam and get licensed by the state as well. So it's two different pathways, but in the end, there's nothing different that I can do at a birth than Teree. Yeah. So we both provide all the same care. The main difference is the stuff outside of pregnancy, like that I can do teens and adolescents medicine, and
which makes us such a great team.
Yeah,
because we essentially between the two of us can care for
everyone
women from womb to tomb.
Womb
to
tomb.
So
Exactly. Yeah. And just traditionally, the licensed midwifery or certified professional midwifery pathway also integrates a lot more like natural modalities.
It does. It has
like
its own academic component. The things that are similar, we both have to do academics and we both have to do clinicals.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we interweave through the traditional model of care of the licensed midwife is that we have a lot of those traditional practices that we learn from different cultures. We learn that are passed down from midwife to midwife. So midwifery, has existed longer than obstetrics and gynecology has.
Yeah.
Way back in time, all we had was the Granny Midwives of the South, which were Black women who were delivering all of America. And so those traditions were passed down from generation to generation. But the nice thing is with the integration of, technology and things like that, we're also able to integrate the things of new as well as the things of old to really create a dynamic, comprehensive care for our women. So yes, we do have a different pathway, but we both learn a lot of the same things, and then we fill in each other's gaps, which is really, really great.
A good team,
The
best team.
Yeah.
I love that.
You heard it here, the best team.
And I think like some people just forget that that's been such a natural thing forever.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of clients come to me and like in my industry, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, has your sister done her research?" I'm like, no, she just found one on the street.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, no, of course she's done her research. Like anyone would do with like in the medical world too. Like you go like into the hospital finding your actual
No, like our first meeting was back in the alley behind Woodward.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No big deal.
And I was like, you want to catch babies? You want to catch babies?
Let's do it.
We watched the YouTube video.
Instagram.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. Like, we could already do that.
A how-to.
Yeah. What is the biggest misconception in giving a home birth and having a home birth?
The biggest misconception about home birth and midwives specifically is that we are not educated and that we're not trained, and that we just woke up one day and decided that we wanted to deliver babies without any research or education or things like that. So a lot of times, have you ever seen those things where people are like, what my mom thinks I do, what my friends think I do, what I actually do. And some of those things, people honestly think that we are by a tree outside with a candle just hoping for the best.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? And we worked our butts off for our licenses. We educated the heck out of ourselves, not only with what was required, but beyond. Teree did far more than what was required just to be a certified nurse midwife. I did far more than what was required just to be a LMCPM. So we really hold high value in ourselves and what we offer to our communities. But that's probably one of the biggest conceptions is like, what you mean you give birth by a tree outside? Like I've had people say that to me, and I'm kind of like, no, it means that I worked my butt off, got a license, and did extra hours, all the things. So
and it's kind of offensive to people who are choosing the one path or the other. It's just like let them choose or just have their decision, and I'm not going to give you any lack about doing whatever you want to do.
It was so insulting for me when people were telling me, "Are you sure you're going? This is the smart way." It was I felt insulted. Like, do you not think that I'm not intelligent enough to do to try to take care of myself, to know the best route for me and my baby and my health and my life.
I think they think it means that there's no medical care. That if you
Yeah.
give birth at home,
Yeah.
that is equivalent to no medical care.
Right.
And it's really just that the medical care comes to you. And so we bring everything with us, as you know.
Yes.
We bring medications for if someone has a bleeding issue. The most important thing we bring are our hands and our brain to know
Right.
what to do, when to do it, but also when not to do things.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing that makes us different than the traditional model in the hospital is a lot of times people just automatically have certain kind of interventions or
Right.
monitoring like a cookie cutter one size fits all versus there's a saying, midwives have skilled hands and know how to sit on them. So it's the discernment to know when something is needed versus when things are best to just leave it all
Yes.
alone and let nature
Absolutely.
take its course.
Yep.
I think one of the highest midwifery skills is this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listening and
Yes.
watching with your eyes
Yep.
and observing that environment. And one
Yeah.
of the things that people don't think is that we are regulated by the state. Like we
Yeah.
have rules and things that we have to
Absolutely.
follow in order to practice too. So
Yeah.
we are watchful angels
Yes.
over the
I-
space, but we are also
Absolutely.
very skilled badasses.
I remember during my home birth, I said to Stacy, I think it's coming. And I remember seeing Teree just slowly get up, just casually stand up. Like she was like, okay, like she was not, no one was pressed. Y'all were very like, you just trusted. You were very calm and you're like, oh my, you just knew, okay, it's time, but we still have more time. And
My hope is always that we leave and it seems like we were useless. Because
Yeah.
I don't want you to see the skills we have, right? Because that
Yep.
means that there was complications and things we had to do. And I understand that when families ask questions like that, like, oh, well, are you sure? Did you think about it? It truly does come from a loving place.
Yes.
Because they care about you, they care about the baby, they want to make sure you're okay, and so do we,
Yeah.
right? Like we are there for the what if, right? The families always ask, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if the cord's around the neck, right? Like, let me roll my eyes while I say that one, but but we are the what if.
Yeah.
We are there for the what if. We're like loving you and telling you're doing a good job and you're so pretty. That's a bonus. But the real reason we're there is in case you are bleeding, we are going to stop you from bleeding. If your baby needs to breathe, we are going to make your baby breathe, right? Etc. If the cord is around the neck, we're going to unwrap it a few times. But it's not really that big of a deal. But that's why we are there. We're not there to like play a bongo drum and shake a smoke stick.
yes.
One of the things I like to say is we love being your birth team. We really, really, really do. But we don't want the most memorable part of your birth to be us.
Yes.
Like, oh, my midwife did. Oh, my midwife
Right.
did. Oh, my midwife did. We want the most memorable part of your birth to be what you did and how
Right.
powerful you were. So that's
Absolutely.
what
I mean,
we're saying.
another example of just, at one point we were saying like, there's Teree. She was down at Whole Foods getting some food because it was such a chill, it was the most chill, relaxing vibe with being in labor all at the same time. It was amazing. Like it was the best thing. I couldn't have asked for a better experience, honestly, because it was just y'all made me feel so good. And that's the most important. It's the most important. So.
Yeah, she got there. She set up emergency equipment.
That's it.
Waited till I got there,
Went
and
and
then
got some food.
went and got us some food. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. So, out of all the thousands of births that you guys have done, and either of you can answer, what is one that has just stuck out to you after all these years?
It is hard to pick just one because obviously, with all of the births we've done over 20 years, really between both of us, 40 years of collective experience attending births. It's hard to pick just one, but the one that we had when it was our very first birth, when Teree joined our team, was a really memorable one. That mom was actually a nurse practitioner herself, and she was with another group of midwives. And through a series of events, she ended up going for a sonogram that really was unnecessary, but then it's just one intervention leads to the next, And so this sonogram, these maternal fetal medicine high-risk specialists are telling her that they think there's all these things wrong, all these concerns. It was stressing her out. Then that made her blood pressure go up and all of these things. And we're telling her, oh, we think all these horrible things are going to happen. We're going to have to deliver the baby early, and you're getting preeclampsia. And it was just stressing her out so much. And on top of all of that, the baby was also breech.
Oh, wow.
So she was already 33, 34 weeks along at this point, and she was just feeling like something's not right. I don't think something's wrong with me and my baby. I don't think that we're sick. So let me have a consult with someone else.
Oh my goodness.
And so she was about 35 weeks, I think, by the time she transferred care to us.
Wow.
And we have certain protocols that we have people do to make sure that they are preventing hypertension issues or trying to slow it down or things like that. And she was only with us, I think, like maybe 2 weeks before she went into labor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And birthed her breech baby at home like a boss, first time mom.
Like a boss.
But that
oh my
that
gosh.
comes with that education
Absolutely.
piece, right? Finding the provider who's going to empower you to make truly informed decisions.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what she was lacking, and she had the wherewithal to say, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get what I need. And so she found, because there's a lot of things out there that, breech birth,
Yeah.
scary,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
We're very skilled breech providers. We've worked very hard to educate our mamas. And there's certain types of breeches that we do outside of the hospital, and there's certain types that we don't.
Right.
Right.
But when she learned that she was a good candidate for that, she educated herself, and she had a beautiful breech birth. And that was our first, going steady
Yeah,
birth.
that was. We had done a lot of births together prior to that over the last several years,
Okay.
but that
We've
was
known
our
each other
first
for years.
official one.
Okay.
Our
But-
first, we're married now. But
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But she did not have preeclampsia.
she did not.
Wow.
She did not have a preterm baby. There's nothing wrong with her baby.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was just all of the stress of them trying to find something wrong was kind of creating the complication rather than fixing anything.
I'm glad that she trusted her instincts.
Yes.
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 You gotta know.
But she 100% would have, at bare minimum, had a cesarean
Oh wow.
because her baby was breech.
See?
And so even if that had been the only thing, she would have absolutely still had a cesarean.
Yeah.
But on top of that, her blood pressure probably would have continued to be a problem because of the stress that they were putting on her, combined with that we have certain dietary protocols and things that we do to help slow that process down. But instead she had a very quick, just a few hour labor, first time mom, and
Amazing.
pushed her breech baby out up in
Good
the
for her.
bedroom.
What we see, especially with moms who've been told, my provider told me I had high blood pressure, is that they get here and they don't.
Yeah.
And that's just because they feel safe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Or we have a monitor it at home, even.
We do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. But even in all the monitoring, it's just oh, wait a minute, you have a safe provider and you feel empowered.
Yep.
Right.
Your blood pressure's low, go figure.
Oh my God, I'm really happy for her.
Mhm.
See, and that stuck out
That's
to me,
amazing.
what you said, y'all know when to not do something. And that is,
Exactly.
when to wait on it. That's
Yes.
so important.
Yeah.
That's
One
really
of my
important.
births I just had in the last few days, this past week. That's what she thanked me for actually at her home visit, was thank you for all the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
so
really appreciated her recognizing that.
Yeah.
Because so often it's just you're viewed and judged for the things you do.
Yep.
But truly for midwives, sometimes the things we don't do is the way to give the best care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that. That's just empowering, honestly.
It
You
is.
know? Okay, obviously you guys were there for Hannah's birth. Okay. And I want to know if there's anything that stuck out to you guys that was special, unique, anything different that you guys want to talk about here.
Well, I'll go first. First of all, just saying, on the record, you've given us permission
Yes.
to talk about
Yes.
these things. Obviously,
Yes,
our
absolutely.
patients we're bound to confidentiality. So, but the thing that I really loved about your birth was that you were saying we were so chill, but you were also
We
so
were.
chill.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it was
Proud.
amazing. Yeah, Teree went down to grab us some snacks from Whole Foods, and she comes back and can already see the head. And I mean, we didn't even know you were that close because you were just so chill
Oh,
as
wow.
well. So that's what I love, is that, she came back and walked around to the side of the pool where she'd be able to view what's going on,
Yeah.
and just said, oh,
Hey.
there's a
We have a
head.
running joke now that when I step away, if a mom was I'm just gonna step away for a second and then the baby's gonna be ready to come when I go.
Yeah.
And
should do that.
I
That
do.
works. That works. Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay. Yeah, because I remember I was like, that's her. She's down there. She's ready.
I remember the moment you said, I think she's coming, or baby's coming, or something like this. And we certainly know after all these years that when a mom said the baby's coming, the baby is coming.
Yep.
Like, you always listen to that, you know, and don't tell her, like, oh, no, it's not time yet, or don't push, or it's like, no, just slowly rise and grab your gloves.
Yeah.
Because the baby's coming.
She did. She slowly, I remember seeing her. She slowly got up, and I was like, it's game time. But she's so chill.
And then my other favorite things is Teree was on one side of you, so she kind of helped catch the baby from behind, and then she passed the baby forward, and then I got to.
We both got to catch your
I
baby.
know. I know.
That was so
I
fun.
love it. It's the best day ever.
Yeah, so those are the sweet fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Teree, do you have?
So do I have permission to share?
The unhinged part of your birth.
Yes. tell the world.
So after baby was born, and we got you to bed, and we're setting up for the newborn exam. You know, I'm at the edge of your bed, and I'm looking over, and in my peripheral vision, I see on your light switch that you have a naked black man, right? On your light switch, with the cutoff right where his penis should be, where the switch is. And so I'm kind of like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And so I'm doing the newborn exam.
Wait, you didn't introduce them to him?
No, I had to find out about him
Oh my gosh.
by default. So I'm here, you know, and I'm looking, and it's like, that looks like a naked black man. And so I'm doing weighing the baby, and I look again, and it's definitely a naked black man. And so after we make sure that Charlie Boy is all good, I was like, okay, your baby's perfect. So quick question. What's the story about the naked black guy?
She's like, who's the black man?
On your light switch.
What's his name?
And I gave him a name. His name is Tyrone.
Tyrone. Oh my God, that's the best. That is the highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might need to circle back around and get a little shot of Tyrone.
Oh, I do. Oh my God, that is the best.
But other than
So
that,
funny.
one of the highlights of the birth was when you held her and then you found out that she was a girl. And you saw that moment where you guys found out that she was a girl, and you were just weeping and joyful.
I know.
And both of you, it was the best.
It's honestly the best day. Well, again, thank you guys. I could not have done that day without y'all. I have told everyone. I have found the best team. I will give all the recommendations to anyone that wants to know, and I encourage everyone. And honestly, she'll be the next one out of my group to come to you guys. It was the most beautiful experience. I couldn't have done it without you guys. So again, thank you for shedding some light. I really want to shed some light. All I hear about when you think about birth is a negative thing, and there is so much positivity in it. And I had such a positive birth. I'm so thankful for that, and I just want to shed some light on that. So thank you guys for doing that and
Thank you
helping
guys
me.
for being here.
Of course,
Yes.
we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Us.
Yes, and this is an ongoing friendship.
Yes.
So, you know, we got some aunties here.
Yes.
Of course.
But yeah, thank you guys. I
I'll
love
pray
you
for a
guys.
lot of fertility for you.
Yes.
I
Amen.
love
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys.
Hi, I'm midwife Teree.
And I'm midwife Teri, and we're the certified nurse midwife and licensed midwife of BundleBorn Midwifery. And if you are interested in learning more about our practice or want to come in to meet with us to see if we're a good fit, you're welcome to call our office and talk with our office manager, Catherine, or you can reach out through the inquiry page on our website. So just www.bundleborn.com. You can also follow us on Instagram. Sometimes I make TikToks, but not that often. I'm probably not that good. So
We hope to see you guys soon.
I had a really good time last night. I just called to say that I love the way you make me feel.
Da-ba-dee-da, da-ba-da-da.